up, witches? I'm here in all my wet-headed glory to talk about something so that I can get it out of my system and out of my head, and I will not be tempted to talk about it at prayer circle because I don't want to bring this energy. I hope to finish moving this through before then. I started last spring in the pandemic when, lockdown was so oppressive. I changed all my habits and I started drinking my coffee out on the patio in the mornings, and just such a beautiful way to start the day, looking at the woods. So the weather has been such that the last couple weeks, I've been able to do that again. And I went out on the porch this morning, was out there for maybe 25 minutes, got the two goddesses of the prayer circle came today. So at any rate, I was wearing my floor-length gown with a floor-length cotton robe over it, barefoot. No, I had slippers on. I had my slippers on. And was sitting at my desk a while later and looked down at my leg, and on the inside above my knee, inside of my thigh, there was a tick. And, you try to brush off, it's like you realize what it is, and right away I started freaking out because I have had Lyme disease, and it is no joke. I, interestingly enough, got it when I went down to Southern Ohio for the Starwood Festival, and they were saying, the health department was not saying that it was, the Lyme disease was in that area at that time, but you have to realize that the official, information about where it's active is way behind the times, because that requires people reporting it, recognizing it and reporting it. And people can have had chronic Lyme for years and not know what they've had. And so, it can be in an area months or even years before the health department has an official reporting that it was, absolutely contracted in that area. So, and then this winter, we never went into the deep freeze that we usually get in February. And because of that, I don't know that we had any sub-zero temperatures this winter. Because of that, it's going to be a horrendous tick season. Now, when I was out on the patio, I never went out in the grass. I stayed on concrete the whole time. And, the only thing I can think is that this tick, when I went over and it saw my juicy fish belly white thigh passing overhead, it went spring. Yum, yum. Oh, my God. So when I found it, of course, that kicked an immediate, I was like on the edge of a panic attack the whole time. I hollered for my husband, and it's like, oh my God, there's a tick on me, there's a tick on me. And my first thing is, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. And then I was getting those rushes. Any of you that have anxiety disorder or panic disorder will know exactly what I'm talking about. Those rushes of energy where it feels like things are flipping over, And I just, okay, I've learned after 62 years to breathe through those. It's kind of like a Tonglen practice. I feel that energy rush coming. You just breathe it in and breathe it out. It's like breathe in, take in the energy that you need, breathe out the excess. And I feel my head come back down again. Back early days, when that rush would hit, is when an additional layer of fear would hit. Oh shit, I'm going to pass out. And then that would become like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And even in the last 5 years, I have had periods where I would have the panic attacks that would lock in. And even lying down with my feet up on the wall, it's like I am just on the edge of passing out. That was also a chronic dehydration thing. So not exactly all anxiety. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you, I did pull the tick out with I put Vaseline on it first, and then I read a thing that said you really want to get it out quickly. You don't want to wait for it to back itself out. So it's like, okay, fuck that. Got the tweezers and very carefully, pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled until it detached. And I got all of it. I have it in a little bottle in some alcohol. It was very flat, so that tells me it wasn't there for long, and it needs to be attached, they say, for 36 hours at least before you get the Lyme disease. And I feel that I cleared the outward symptoms of my Lyme disease, although it fucked my system up for a couple of years. The jury is still out on where it's embedded in my body because I did feel it cross into my nervous system. But, so I logically, reasonably am in a good place thinking I found it right away. I did all the protocols, cleaned with alcohol. I've circled the area just to watch over the next few days. I know what to look for. But I'm still dealing with the symptoms. So I was in the shower and what I want to do is, for me, being Plutonian and having that Pluto opposing my moon, I have to confront things in a radical way. This is like radical desensitization, which desensitizing someone from some kind of phobia, you would want to do, a little at a time. You don't want to put somebody through more than they need to go through, right? But for me, I just need to confront because I know, and this applies to you too, so many things I always imagined I could never handle. And yet I did when I confronted the reality of them. So imagination always makes things more fearsome than the reality. Most of the time. So I've just spent time in the shower, like radically confronting. I was looking at the pictures of the ticks and I've been looking at this thing and it's just like, and breathe and ground. So this is a warning that, tick season is upon us. Please, I had my husband check me all over, to make sure I didn't pick up any others. I warned my neighbor who was out there with her little 1-year-old boy. So, it's just warning, take care of yourself. So I will not go out without my, I can't remember what it's called, but it's an essential oil repellent that is very effective. I'll figure it out and post it. And I am also going to look at maybe is there some kind of essential oil blend that I can spray on the concrete of the patio that, would be enough to stop things from being on the patio, but not enough to wash off into the grass or the garden and cause problems. So anyway, thanks for listening. That helps too. Just having somebody to listen really, really helps. Stay safe. I hope I'll see you at Prayer Circle in a couple hours. Blessed be.